I'm Gregg Jarrett. You're in the strategy room. GOP frontrunner Donald Trump says he is self-funding his campaign and beholden to nobody. But his financial reports say otherwise. While he is not actively fundraising like other candidates, his financial reports are showing that he is pulling in some bucks and spending donations from his supporters. Does Trump really intend to drop his own fortune into his campaign, or is he just kind of bluffing? Here now with their take, Jeanne Zaino, who is professor of political science at Iona College, Liz Peek, columnist at the Fiscal Times. Welcome to both of you. Jeanne, what do you think about that? Is he sincere about dropping his fortune into this race, or is that a charade?
You know, I think if he has to, he will, but I think the brilliance of what he's done so far is he's gotten more attention than anybody. His poll numbers keep going up, and he's spent far less money than anybody. You compare what he's doing to to Jeb Bush, rather. They're planning on spending $16 million in advertising for Jeb Bush in the next few weeks, his super PAC, and yet every time they spend money on these ads, his numbers seem to go down. So you got to give Donald Trump credit. He's not soliciting campaign donations, but he's getting them, and he will spend his money if he has to, but he hasn't had to so far.
He gets free advertising because television networks, whenever he holds a rally and speaks extemporaneously, everybody wants to tune in to the networks to see what is he going to say this time. Right, you know, as if, what's the crazy uncle in the attic going to say or do?
No, that's Bernie Sanders. And that's just clear.
That's a different crazy uncle. So he gets free advertising.
Don't you think at the end of this cycle there will be a conversation about the role that the media has played? Because it is sort of inherently unfair, it seems to me, that Donald Trump can call any radio station, any TV station in the country, instantly be put on the air because he drives ratings. And as you say, he has not had to spend a dime, really. The other thing that's interesting is he's been very clear that he'll spend his own money. It really speaks to the ardor of people who are following him, that they're willing to send money into him. Either that or they haven't really heard him speak. But he makes that case over and over again. How anyone is donating money to his campaign or why, I have no idea.
Yeah, the other thing that's changed is that television networks, even Sunday talk shows, the traditional talk shows, are taking him by telephone. Yeah. Now, I had a conversation with our own Chris Wallace of Fox News Sunday, he's our host. And he refused to do that and told Trump, I refuse to come on my show, face me face to face. And Christie explained, he said, there's a reason for that. You can tell a lot about a person, whether they're telling the truth or lying or whatever, by seeing their face while they're talking. And so Trump will come on to Fox News Sunday this Sunday because Chris refused to take him by phone.
Good for him.
And you got to give Chris credit. The only of the major Sunday shows that have done that. And every other show, some weeks he's been phoning into every single one from ABC to NBC to CBS without having to appear. And that is a big, big problem because the other candidates aren't getting the benefit of that. They aren't able to just phone in. And so, you're going to see a very different, I think, experience this Sunday when Chris talks to him and has him face to face and is able to ask him tough questions and pin him down on tough answers.
So
maybe
Trump could run his entire
campaign
from sitting in his big Trump Tower office, picking up the telephone and talking to TV stations all over, and then on his computer, tweeting all kinds of wisecracks that get attention immediately.
Trying to steal the Democrat debate by tweeting, constantly during the debate. It was pretty funny, right? He didn't. I don't think he had that much impact on it, really, but it was interesting. I think he ended up getting more Twitter followers during the debate than Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton did, which is pretty remarkable. I mean, the guy, look, I think he has this has been an unusual cycle in so many ways. Trump obviously brings the reality TV thing to American politics, and it's been pretty interesting to see how that plays out. But as I say, I think there's going to be pressure on the networks to somehow not let this happen again, because I would say two things. One is it's a little unfair. Secondly, it has pushed candidates to say sort of outrageous things Ben Carson an example of that, right? But his numbers goes up every time he says, "Oh, a Muslim can't be president" or whatever. So I mean, how do you deal with that? I'm not for regulating business, but I think that there is going to have to be a conversation about some sort of self-regulation on the networks to make sure this doesn't happen
It's
again.
funny because Trump brags, well, I've only spent my money, a small amount of money, on T-shirts and hats. When I was in high school back in the early 70s, that's what we did when we were running for class treasurer or social affairs chairman, posters, hats, and T-shirts. So not much has changed since the 1970s.
Run for president now.
I could have done. I should have kept going.
You should have kept it up.
I wasn't a very good social affairs chairman. Kept throwing parties for myself. Jeanne and Liz, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
You can check out FoxNews.com for more on the 2016 presidential race. I'm Gregg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.